Okay, looks like we're ready to go with Super Bob. First up, we've got Rusix versus Arg. I believe Argic will be on the left and Rusix will be on the right. The way Super Bob works is it's similar to Puyo Puyo in that you get 2 orbs at a time, you fire them, and they work with gravity. So they'll hit and they'll separate and they'll fall as far as they can. And you pop them. Unlike Puyo Puyo, you get a special shiny orb that if it makes contact with a normal orb of the same color, it'll pop everything along that chain. Everything will fall down. If it starts another chain goes. The more chains you do, the more damage you deal to your opponent. You top out their screen, and you'll win. Best of luck, guys. Grizz versus Chump. I'm a big fan of the Grizz character myself. They say it doesn't matter if there's a secret tier list. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. It's starting off. Right now we got not much happening, like early stage of the match, just both players trying to build up a few chains and maybe look to be dealing some damage later on. So you see Argic on the left has that yellow wisp, and there's a blue orb in between it. So if you can pop that blue orb will disappear, the yellow orb will rise up and pop the rest of the yellows, and that'll deal... Nope, we won't anymore, my bad. Rusix has a very clean looking board, nice clean stacks. He's just keeping them nice. Argix is a little more messy, I think it's fair to say. But he is doing very well to build very high vertical spikes around his triggers, so that if he does get excess garbage sent his way, it doesn't entirely block his trigger. Whereas Rusix is building very flat, it's very tidy. But there's a risk he could get buried, and then he'll have to spend most of his match digging. Ooh, is that a big 2 from Argic? It's a big 2. That's 34 coming out of Rusix. You also can't mitigate any damage you get in, unlike Puyo Puyo. So if you get 34 and you fire off a chain in retaliation, then you still take the 34, but your opponent takes however many you sent to them. Right now, I'd have to say Argic's maybe looking the stronger of the two in this game, just because he's got less clutter on the board. Rusix's starting to get close. You can see it just above the characters at the bottom. There's a line. I believe his highest stacks are right on that line. If anything goes below that line, the match will be over. And it's first to 2. He's just trying to play survival right now. Argic's looking maybe for that killer chain. Ooh. Maybe he's building up. He's gonna go for a multiple chain or just one really long single one. Ooh, maybe he's thinking if he pops that green bubble. Ooh, and he gets buried. Ooh, Rusix with a special. You will see this rainbow pair coming in. Whatever they hit, they'll get rid of every one of that on the screen, but it also takes into account whether it's a normal or a special orb. Oh, only 2 chain. If that was a 3, that could have caused some real damage. Argic's board is looking very green right now. It's been back and forth this whole time. Both boards looking perhaps a little messy than the players would have liked. A little bit messier, but they're trying to make the best of a bad situation. And they're slowly clearing chains. Nice, small 2 chains. Giving out constant harassment, never giving the other player a moment to think. Some more small 2 chains by Argic. Could that constant harassment be the difference? Ooh, that's game 1 to Argic. It's best of 3. He's building high. He's got those yellows, and they're keeping the greens apart on Argic's screen on the left. So he's thinking, maybe. Ooh, there's a little 2 chain for him. Oh, how can I forget the absolute banger that is the soundtrack? I just thought that went without saying. Well, the board's looking a little messy. There's no clear long chains and no way to get to a few of the chains higher up. Rusix is probably a little cleaner right now just because he's got less orbs on the board. But we've all seen that can change in the blink of an eye. Yeah, it's just a standard best of 3. There'll be time is not particularly necessary as it's just measured by best of 3, and then we'll move on to our second exhibition match, which will be between Rebel Dragon 95 and Jack of Hearts. This separates the Grizzes from the Chumps. That means a lot of reds are going to fall into position. That's a nice chain building up for Rusix. I'm not sure. Has he got a second lined up after that? I don't think that's a 2 chain. But it's still a nice bit of harassment over on Argic's side that he's going to have to deal with. Didn't clear a lot with that rainbow. That could come back and punish him if Rusix can pull off a big chain here. Argic not happy with the audience participation. Argic is on the left and Rusix is on the right. Argic's on the right of the camera and Rusix is on the left. I don't know, we have to ask tech, is there a way to flip the camera? Ross, can you flip the camera? Oh, Argic's just trying to let the timer count down and hope the Rusix somehow tops out. If I'm honest, it's a bold strategy. Maybe it'll work out. No, but it looks like his time has just run out today. We're going to the final match in this first exhibition. Defarting Ninja has a point. Argic, you do need to practice more Puyo for this. Once again, the condition to clear the bubbles is, you see on Argic's side, the furthest down he's got is a green orb it's very shiny, it's spinning around. If that touches a regular clear green orb, it'll pop everything along that chain. Everything that green orb is touching all the way down, either horizontally or vertically. And you can go like that. So instead of Puyo where it's 4 or more touching at once to drop. So very small, looks like small harassments right now. Both players maybe a bit unsure about how they're going to go about their attack. I'm sure it'll all come through together in the end. Ooh. He has a chance to set off that yellow chain pretty much whenever he wants. He'll set it off now. Oh, that's a big. That's a 4. 5. That's 80. An excellent combo from Argit there. There is only 88 free spaces on the board, so if you're getting 80 plus in one bit of garbage, you really have to hope your board is in excellent condition.
Grizz has let me down so many times, and so has Chum. No
I'd like to point out that was a fluke.
So on the left we have Jack of Hearts, and on the right we have Rebel Dragon. It's the wrong way around on the camera, but... looks like just small harassments, both players testing the water again. There we go. And no one's quite sure how you didn't. Big shouts to our tech crew for fixing the camera so that Jack is now on the left and Rebel is now on the right. Jack maybe not quite sure where he wants to go at first, but he's deciding. He's got to decide quickly. Rebel's putting down a lot of pieces. He's going to hit those. He's going to hit those rainbow pieces first, and he can really do some damage. Ooh. Only 15 damage because it was a long first chain, but not much on the second. That's what you really have to think about. Think about planning ahead. You really need your longest chain right at the end. You can do a lot of damage even if you have sort of 4 or 5 2 chains, and then you hit a massive, if it's the 5th chain, you only need 10 or so to do some real damage. So 3 chain, even if it's not very long, it's still going to do 22 damage. Jack might be sweating, showing that even the ex-ESA champions can feel some pressure. To be fair, I'm not sure it's been brought back to ESA. I think he's still the current ESA champion. Thank you, Trico. That's a fun factoid, but you know what? It's a very fun factoid. The board is 8 by 11. Ooh. Rebel with not much room to breathe. He's playing right up the top. He's just playing for survival. But he's getting a lot of wisps lined up in his upcoming ones, so he should be able to weather this out reasonably well, unless Jack puts on a lot of pressure very consistently. Oh, just puts it the wrong way round. And we're going into game 2. Rebel looks to be building some very neat and tidy stairs, whereas Jack's a little more freeform in his placements. Fun. Rebel's got some greens free there at the top. Just if he needs to clear some board space and he gets a green wisp. Unfortunately, the risk is they will get buried if Jack sends a lot of damage at once. It's a very tidy little 2-chain from Rebel, sending over 11 damage. Those single pokes don't do a lot by themselves, but added up, they can really, really cause some issues. Rebel didn't have a lot on his screen when the rainbows came in, so he couldn't get much of chain going. And the initial ones that disappear from a rainbow don't actually count towards garbage. I sort of like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to make people proud of me. Proud of my restraint. But thanks, Argy. Got some rainbows lined up, and he's got quite a big board. He could do a lot of damage here. It's not that much damage sent over, but it is a lot of orbs cleared, which will give him plenty of room to breathe. And now Rebel's the one on the back foot. ESA champ undefeated on stream. And now I think we'll be setting up for the grand final match between the Mibulus and Natty.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm Paul Lister, and I will be your commentator for the Super Bob Contest second grand finals. Alright, so 20 people have competed in this year's tournament, and only 2 remain. Let's take a look at a bit of the history of both of these contenders. The Mibulus on the left is the reigning Super Bob World Champion. We don't know if there's a world champion, so we're just going to go by default that we are the world championship. So Mibs is our reigning world champion, and he's looking to defend his title against a grudge match foe and previous tournament semi-finalist Natty on the right. They faced off last tournament in the semi-finals live on stream, and Mibs prevailed in that match and then went on to win the title. There's definitely a lot on the line for both of these contenders, so let's not waste any more time. Contenders, are you ready? Yes. Okay, so go ahead and select your characters. Just one of you select a character, then we will start. All right, count it down with me. Let's begin the grand finals in 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. Round 1 is upon us. Again, it's a best of 3, so 2 wins will do it. Some early clears very early on. Mibs is prioritizing combos, so there is a tiny one that's going to send some garbage down Natty's alley. We then we see some very clean stacking from Natty's side. I believe that was a combo, but either way, Natty with a slightly better board health than Mibs. But a lovely combo from Mibs will send a lot of garbage Natty's way, but Natty will also have a chain of his own, sending even more garbage Mibs' way. So Natty's coming out on top of this scuffle. But a lot of Will-O-Wisps on Mibs' side, so that's a lot of potential for combos. It's not over yet, folks. Mibs getting some more garbage from Natty. It's neck and neck still. Some micro garbage transactions here. Yes, that is a term I am coining right now. Any little thing Natty tries to send, even the tiniest little things, just to inconvenience Mibs in the slightest. Kind of bury potential combos and everything. But Mibs is not deterred just yet. A lot of Will-O-Wisps and quite a scattered color distribution. Natty's is a little bit more grouped up, but this is the Grand Finals after all, so anything can happen. A lot of things can happen, especially if these guys can live it out to the rainbows. But Mibs sending a lot of garbage Natty's way, so Natty needs those Will-O-Wisps. But I don't think he's going to do it, and game one will go to Mibs. The Will-O-Wisps came in one piece late, and we are immediately on to match two. There's no waiting here. As reigning champion, you should be able to know that. I jest, of course. This is a serious competition. I shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Anyways, here we go again. A little bit more setup at the beginning. A few Will-O-Wisps here. He's forming a canopy out of them, Mibs. And he's going to get a lot of garbage from Natty, but he's going to send a lot his way with a triple chain. Mibs coming out on top of this one. And another double chain, sending some more garbage Natty's direction. And a few more. Mibs with a few pillars, but in general, with a healthier stack than Natty. Natty seems a bit more full. In a sense. So, there's a big yellow clump. Mibs is waiting for the yellow Will-O-Wisps. There it is. That's the next piece. There it goes. There is a red there. There is a yellow. There's a 3-chain for Mibs, and he's sending 31 down Natty's alley. So Natty in a very, very tough spot. He needs to survive, but he cannot do it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. No contest. And it finished as quickly as it began. Mibs is your second-time Super Bob World Champion. Oh my god. It seems to me like the tournament organizer, Mr. CD Ramatron himself, has a prize for the two-time champion. Let's see what he dug out of CEX this time. You may. Go ahead. CD Ramatron, everybody.
So, as has been tradition, last time I had a... Oh, I'm in shot. Last time, I had a spare copy of Spider-Man for the GameCube, and I needed rid of it. So, we used that surprise. I found something else from my shelf, which I was never going to play, and I feel holds some great sentimental value to myself, and will hopefully do so for Mibs as well.
Certain I will
Paul,
treasure it always.
where have you gone? There you are. Could you please present Mibs with his used copy of Brian Lara's Cricket 2007 for the Xbox 360? That has been Super Bob at UKSG Autumn 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed. We had some fun here. Come here. Let's pass back over to the Speed Games.
It's just what I always wanted. Thank you, Mike. When are we getting Super Bob speedrunners? Soon. Yeah.